I'm going to be talking about getting a ferret and like whether or not you should pick a boy or girl or like a baby or an older ferret. Okay, when you're shopping for a ferret, well, before you even shop for a ferret, you need to consider that ferrets are pretty high maintenance pets and they need a lot of care. So first, do all of your research on pet ferrets that you can possibly do. Second, when you're at the store, make sure that his or her fur is soft, shiny, and full. He or she should have no missing patches of fur. Her eyes should be clear and bright. Yes. No discharge should be coming from the eyes, ears, or nose. Her underside should be clean and healthy looking for signs of diarrhea or bloating. She should be jumpy and playful. Color should be a last deciding factor because many coat colors and patterns have a tendency to change and lighten over time. You want a older ferret or a baby ferret? Mabel is about, well, I got her 3 months ago and she's about 7 months old. She's not fully grown yet because ferrets are fully grown when they're about at a year old. So she is a couple months to go. So if you're gonna get a baby like I did, you have to keep in mind that they're more active and playful, but they also can be more playful and demanding of your time. You'll need to train and socialize your kit. You'll be the one who has to teach a kit what is and isn't acceptable. If you're adopting an older ferret, here's some things to consider. Because the lifespan of a ferret is relatively short, averaging, like the average lifespan of a ferret is like 6 to 8 years, you may have less time to spend with an older ferret or adult ferret. It really depends on how old they are. The average lifespan is just something you want to think about. Generally speaking, older ferrets seem to be more relaxed with themselves and wiser to their surroundings, but they're still like playful and stuff, and they're still really mischievous. They don't lose their curiosity. Some can get into just as much, if not more, trouble than young ferrets. The majority of older ferrets have had at least one other caretaker. Most are already trained to use their litter box and have been taught that nipping is unacceptable. So now I'm going to talk about whether or not you should get a boy or a girl. Females are usually smaller and they're usually more playful. Okay, I'm going to go let me see how it is. She wants out of my room. Yeah, so females are typically smaller and a little bit skinnier than males, and they also can be more playful. Now, this doesn't apply to all ferrets. Like, all ferrets have their personalities just like humans do. But now talking about boy ferrets, as boy ferrets mature, they tend to become more cuddly and couch potato-ish. Females tend to remain more like squirmish stuff. Like, they can still have their moments and everything, but yeah. It takes a lot of attention for a girl ferret to calm down a lot. Like, you really have to get her to calm down. Yeah, you can like pet her. As you can see now, she's very calm. Actually, I don't know if you can see Mabel. You can see Mabel. She's just laying in my arms. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how much ferrets you should get. Now, I only have one ferret, but what I'm saying I recommend to everyone, even though it's not what I do, because the only reason I don't have more than one is because of my parents and because they won't let me have a second one, which I think is really stupid, but, you know, parents. You really want to consider getting 2 or 3 ferrets because they can get really lonely. Like, I make sure I play with Mabel a lot to make her happy. Yeah, I really care about if she's happy and how social she is. I advise all ferret owners to have at least 2 ferrets. Yeah, I really want people to have more than 1 ferret, even though I only have 1. So I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite when I'm saying this, but the only reason I don't have 2 is because of my parents. So but you shouldn't have more than 8 ferrets, because that exceeds like the normal litter size for ferrets. And so yeah, you don't want to have too much ferrets. If you have more than 8 ferrets, it's really like, well, I've been told it's really stressful and it's crazy. You should consider breaking them up into groups if you want to have more than 8. The reason I say this is ferrets make good companions for each other and usually play well together. Now, if you only have 1 ferret and you're gonna go get another one, you really want to bring your first ferret along to make sure before you bring the second one home that they get along. Adult ferrets are actually known for like accepting younger ferrets, but I guess some personalities of ferrets, they can just get really annoyed with kits. So be sure to, if you're getting a second one after having a first one, that they get along. Okay, thanks. Be sure to subscribe, and I really want you to comment on this, and because I need a bunch of comments from my parents to be convinced that I need a friend for Mabel. So please comment on this and like this, because I really, I'm going to show it to my parents, and I'm going to show this last part asking you to convince my parents. And we're going to get the second one. It will be twice as much fun. Thanks guys. Bye. Me being a hypocrite and all because my parents won't let me get a second one.